Hi there, everyone. My name is Jacqueline Hunt. I am a cognitive life coach for adults on the autism spectrum or anyone who considers themselves more neurodivergent. And today I am going to talk to you guys about navigating relationships. And what I'm going to do is share my screen with you and talk a little bit about uh, relationships. So here we go. Let me see here. Okay. So navigating relationships. Life Through Different Lenses, the Progressive Center for Independent Living. That's the program you guys are all part of. You have a peer support group, which is wonderful and a great starting place in creating and maintaining relationships. So the first thing we want to talk about when we are trying to create relationships is, what does it mean to enter adulthood, becoming an adult? Becoming an adult is different for everybody. It ultimately means taking responsibility for your life on some level. You mature physically, intellectually. For some, that maturity varies considerably, but still, as an adult on the spectrum with special needs, neurotypical, neurodivergent, everybody has similar wants, needs, desires, including relationships. So the desire for a relationship is often very strong for most people, but not everyone. Um, and so it's something that we want to look into, how to make this a reality. Now, everybody has a fundamental right to have a relationship. For instance, everyone requires love, companionship. We need these things to live a full and healthy life. And sometimes we get these things from family, friends, significant others. For some of us, there are obstacles. And finding in maintaining these types of relationships, particularly romantic relationships. Now, if you want to pursue a romantic relationship, there are some things that you need to have, some prerequisites, things you need to have before you seek out that relationship. So one of the first things you need are social skills at some level. You also need communication skills. You also need a concept of self-awareness, and an understanding of your needs, wants, and desires. It is very hard to date someone if you do not know what you yourself need and want out of life. Is it impossible? No. But we really want to work on these skills before we try to seek out a relationship to set ourselves up for success. So what needs to be mastered before we date? These are the skills that are essential to connecting with others effectively. So you need an established social support network. What is a social support network? Well, the peer group you're in right now is part of your social support group. Then there's your family. We all have family members, friendships, people we know in school, people we know at work. In addition to people, we also need to have some hobbies in life. For some of us, that's going to the gym, joining a book club, a cooking class. Sometimes it's video games, sometimes it's a sport. We all need some type of hobby, no matter what it is. Even if it's something as simple as watching anime or playing video games, hobbies are important to have in our lives. We also need a sense of community, knowing the people in your neighborhood, knowing the people in your peer group, knowing the people at your local grocery store, having a doctor, a lawyer, the postal worker, people, a part of your community that you know and trust and respect. Then most of us have professional relationships as well. We have therapists, clergy, coaches like myself, mentors, advisors. We all should have a combination of all of these things in our social support network to some extent. Some things overlap, but we all need to have these types of supports socially in our lives. And before dating, we also have to have basic yet effective social and communication skills. So let's talk a little bit about those skills. Nonverbal communication skills. What isn't said out loud? These types of communication skills often do not come intuitively for those on the autism spectrum. Things like eye contact, body language, tone and inflection in your voice. A lot of these things neurotypicals take for granted. Let's start with eye contact, for instance. Eye contact is a form of nonverbal communication that we utilize or should utilize when we are interacting with people. Not everybody can master eye contact, and that's okay. There's always get-arounds. You can always let people know, I'm not so great at eye contact, but I want you to know I'm listening to everything you say. That's a beautiful get-around when you struggle with making eye contact. But I have found that when we engage in purposeful eye contact, that gives us the ability to utilize it more effectively. So what is purposeful eye contact? Purposeful eye contact is when you look at someone, not to just look at them, but to gather information. Are they paying attention to you? Are they engaged? Are they interested? Are they confused? Are they frustrated? Are they looking away to indicate that they don't want to talk anymore? They want to go away, trying to disengage the conversation. Eye contact can also be the other way around, where you are using your eye contact to convey a message to the listener, showing them that you're interested, that you want to hear more, that you're engaged in what they're saying, that you are questioning them, or you're bored and you don't want to engage anymore. Eye contact is used to convey information and to receive information. That is purposeful eye contact. If anyone in your life has ever told you you must make eye contact and hasn't given you instruction on how to do purposeful eye contact, well, I want you to start switching over and being more purposeful and gathering information with your eye contact and looking at people's eyes and faces where that information is, and also start to learn how to use your eyes to communicate with people. If you struggle with those skills, you can consider working with a coach like myself, or practice, Google, look up things online, watch shows and people interacting with eye contact in a very robust way, and you too can learn how to do it more effectively. Same thing with facial expressions. Indicate to people if you're happy, smile. If you're sad, frown. If you're angry, furl your brow. Facial expressions are a tremendous and very large part of nonverbal communication. Body language. People who have their arms folded are often closed to communication. If you want people to talk to you, make sure you're open. If you want people to talk to you, make sure you're looking up at them. If you're looking down your phone, it is very unlikely someone will approach you to talk to you, even though you may desperately want people to talk to you. You need to be showing people you're open with your body language so that they feel safe in approaching you. Posture. If you're slunched over, it's not looking like you're engaged. If you're sitting up straight and tall, if you're standing, in a good posture type way, you're much more likely to connect with people, and people are much more likely to be attracted to talking with you. Personal space. This is a good one. In terms of personal space, people feel comfortable with a certain amount of space between them. Some people like to be closer, some people like a little more space. It is important to understand the people you're around and what their needs are. And if someone doesn't understand your personal space needs, it's okay to tell them, I need you to take one step back and I will feel much more comfortable. Has nothing to do with you. I just feel comfortable at this distance with all people. Same thing, you can ask the person, am I too close to you, or would you like me to take a step back? Some people may say, no, no, take a step forward so I can hear you better. Personal space is a tremendous and very valuable nonverbal communication skill. Personal space. I have seen people violate personal space inadvertently, and one person steps back, that person keeps stepping forward, and I've seen people go clear across a room in a social situation because they weren't recognizing the person's personal space boundary. Focus on what people's boundaries are. Focus on your own comfort levels. Communicate, and communicate verbally, and also communicate and read those nonverbal cues. Touch. Some people are more huggers. Some people don't like to be touched. Touch is a very nonverbal way of communicating, even touching your own face. You know, when I'm really interested, I sometimes look like I'm thinking by touching my face. Touch, if you're scratching your head, you're confused. If you're wearing an outfit that's itchy, you know, there's so much communication in touch. If you feel close to someone, you put your hand on their shoulder. You're showing compassion if they're sad, or if you just feel attracted to someone, they may offer a hug, or just be a platonic, not romantic hug, but you just want to hug and be close to that person. Physical appearance, huge, 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 huge. If you want a romantic relationship or even just any type of friendship, you have to look neat, clean, freshly washed, shaved, clean clothes, clothes that indicate that you care about your appearance. Because if you don't care about your appearance, it's going to be very hard to get others to be attracted to you. And that's not a bad thing. You know, in the animal kingdom, birds and other animals prune and preen themselves to make themselves look good and attractive for their mates. Same thing with people. We need to prune ourselves. We need to clean ourselves up and look good for people so that they want and desire to be near us. If that's not important to you, and you're sad that others don't like that, it's something you can change. It doesn't change who you are as a person. It just changes how you present yourself to the world, and people respect and like that. So physical appearance is top. Tone, inflection of the voice. It's important if you're sad, to talk in a sad voice. If you're happy, to talk in a happy voice. If you talk in a voice that makes you come off as bored with a conversation, yeah, I know. It's a very bored kind of response, not really engaged. Makes people think they're not, you know, doing it for you. But if you're happy and you're smiling and you're like, yeah, tell me more, that is showing people that you're more engaged by the tone and inflection of your voice. So now we could jump into conversational skills. Talking with people is not talking at length about something you're interested in or they're interested in. Today I'm lecturing. Today I'm monologuing. Today I am telling you a bunch of information. But that's not how conversations go. Conversations are structured like this: a back and forth, reciprocity. I talk a little, you talk a little. So we start a conversation with conversation initiation. It's a reciprocal interaction, a back and forth. It is not a monologue about anime. It's not a monologue about a sports team. It's about one person being the speaker about some topic, and the other person is the active listener. The speaker talks for about a paragraph of information, 5 to 7 sentences max, and then they check in with that active listener. The active listener indicates that they're still listening and want to hear more, or the active listener decides to take on the role of speaker, and they speak for 5 to 7 sentences and then check in with you. The back and forth continues. You're engaging in a conversation together, not talking at each other. but conversing with each other. Then, when it's time to move on, someone will indicate that they would like to terminate the conversation. You must respect conversation termination. If people find it hard to disengage from you, they are not very likely to talk to you again in the future. But if you make it very easy to disengage, they will almost always make time to talk with you in the future. So it's been great talking to you, but I have to get going. Okay, let's talk tomorrow then. Have a wonderful day. Conversation successfully terminated. If I say, hey, it was great talking to you, and then you start talking, and I try again and again, and you're not respecting my conversation termination terminology, I'm more likely to avoid you in the future because it's very difficult to disengage. Same way around, if you struggle with disengaging with someone, you're much less likely to talk to them in the future. So when people are looking at their watch, their phone, I have to get going. It was great talking to you, but it's time to respect that and let them move on. Okay, finding a potential partner. How do we seek out dates with supervision? There are wonderful websites, and it all depends on your level of functioning, where you're at, your level of comfort. There's a really cool website called specialbridge.com, where a bunch of people with special needs, it's a dating site for people with special needs, may or may not be appropriate for your needs. Then there's also those traditional dating sites. I like meetup.com. Meetup.com is not a dating site. It's a site where people get together and go for hikes, do a book club, do a Zumba class, do trivia night at a bar, have game night, video game night. Meetup.com is an excellent way to meet people, form connections, and potentially find a romantic partner. Then there are clubs, organizations, classes, church, work, school, the local community. Many people meet at the gym, singles gatherings, speed dating. This peer support group is a great way to meet people, even if they are not your partner gender preference. You might meet people through new friendships. So always be open to new friendships. And when all else fails, create your own gatherings, your own support groups, your own book club, video game night. You could do so on meetup.com or in your local community. Okay, so first step to dating, getting to know someone new. You're seeking out a potential partner to date. You're meeting someone in a safe environment, perhaps with some supervision by a trusted advisor or friend. Some examples of a safe environment: a mall with public places. Never meet someone for the first time in a secluded location or in their home. Always be out in public where there's a lot of people. A coffee shop is a great place for a date. Maintain social safety at all times. Work up the levels of friendship and trust slowly with new people, and we'll talk about those levels shortly. We start with acquaintances. We slowly move up to friends, close friends, potentially a romantic partner, maybe a significant other. But we're building all relationships from the ground up. And we're processing rejections and breakups as we go. Rejections and breakups are part of everyday life. And it's something that we must deal with. Now, since this is a pre-recorded video, you might want to pause here and brainstorm, what are some good first date ideas? Where should you go on a first date? Let's make a list. I would love for you guys to brainstorm a little bit and figure out some first date ideas. I love going to the mall and maybe shopping with someone. Maybe going to a coffee shop and just chatting. Sometimes just chatting could be a little intimidating. So doing an activity, maybe mini golf or bowling. What are some good first date ideas that you guys can think about or think of? Now, after we've brainstormed some first date ideas, now we need to come up with some good topics to discuss on first date. What do you want to know about your date, and what do you want them to know about you? You can again pause this video and brainstorm and create a list together. Some of my ideas, when I meet someone new, I want to know what they're interested in, what their hobbies are, what they do for a living, if they have a job or if they're in school. What are they studying? What are their passions? Do they have a specific sport they like, or what's their favorite book or color? I would love to know those things about a new person. What I would want people to know about me is my interests, what I like to do, talk a little bit about what I'm passionate about, talk about some of my previous experiences in life, what I like to eat, where I like to go for fun. I find myself talking with friends about restaurants all the time because we're all foodies. Brainstorm some ideas, some good topics to discuss on a first date, and then come back to this presentation. What are you looking for in a person you would like to date? This is an important question. Sometimes people are so desperate for a date, they'll take anybody. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to not take the last piece of fruit, no matter how beat up and messed up it is, because it's the last piece of fruit. I don't want you to be starving for a relationship. I want you to be picky. So what qualities are you interested in a person you would like to date? Again, pause the video and brainstorm together. Everybody's going to have different qualities that they want in a partner, but it's important to know what you want. And it's okay to want someone who's pretty or handsome or blonde or brunette or a certain color eye, or someone who's interested in, I must have a gamer girlfriend or boyfriend, or I must have someone who's into sports, or I must have someone who's into fitness because I'm into fitness. Figure out what you're looking for in a person you would like to date and seek that out. And also be flexible. I really love if someone I dated was a gamer, but that's not a deal breaker for me. Think about what is a deal breaker for you, some things that you must have and things that you can live without. Talk that over a little bit and then come back to this presentation. Okay, what are some of your dating concerns? What are your dating questions? I can't answer a lot of those right now, but anyone who has some questions, specific questions, you could definitely reach out to me, email me, or if you're interested in coaching, you could reach out to me as well, and you'll have my contact information at the end of this presentation. But this is something you can, again, pause the video and chat about as a group with your peers. What are some of your concerns, your questions? Some people worry about what to talk about. We've already brainstormed some of that. Some people are worried about what to do, how to act, what to say, how to dress. All you have to do is be clean, presentable. All you have to do is go into a date with the intention of having fun and a good time with someone new. And all you have to do is have that back and forth conversation. And if you run out of things to talk about, do something together, play a game, go bowling, take a walk. If you're afraid of rejection, majority of the time when we go on a date, we may just have one date. So we have to keep going. We have to keep trying. And we can't look at it as a rejection, but an opportunity to meet the right person going forward. If anyone has dating concerns or questions, we'll make sure you have my information to reach out to me, but also talk amongst yourselves. Okay, this is the fun stuff, building a relationship from the ground up. This is my concept of a friendship pyramid. The lowest level is acquaintances. And at this lowest level, small talk is what's appropriate. Being at the bottom of this pyramid, this is the level where you can't get hurt because people are an acquaintance. People are, you're not going to reveal much except your immediate surroundings and what's going on in your immediate area. Now, as we move up and we go up to level 2, you're not yet safe to open up your heart. You are just trying to discover common interests. So let's say you're at a bus stop and you're talking to someone new. When you're at the bus stop at level 1, you're talking about, oh, I wonder when the bus will get here, some weather we're having, small talk, things that are in your immediate environment. Wow, it's really loud outside today. When you want to move up a level, you're still doing small talk, but you're trying to discover common interests. Do you like sports? What do you watch on TV? Did you see the Olympics the other day? Did you go on Twitter last night? Ask questions to find out each other's interests. And then if you get that far and you find you have some commonalities, you may want to jump up into the experience stage where you say, hey, you and I have been talking for a while. We both like Metallica. You want to go to a Metallica concert together? Or we both like bowling. You want to go bowling together? Level 3 is starting to experience common interests together. You are at a level where you're still just experiencing low-level things together, but you're not opening up your heart. You're not treating this person like a best friend. The majority of relationships stay at this level. Not everybody is best friend material, but there are plenty of people that are go to the movies material, go bowling material, go see a show material. That doesn't mean they're your best friend yet. So then we work on building this healthy, complete relationship pyramid. We need friends at every level. We have to put people into their correct place in our lives. And we start having experiences, maybe one-on-one, maybe with a small selective group of people. But levels 3 through 5 are that small, that group phase where you're experiencing things together. Sporting events, restaurants, small house parties, more intimate dinners together. And then, as time goes on, and you're connecting with people, you might test the waters and try to share some ideas, some hopes, some dreams, some desires. You're no longer just small talking or experiencing. You're talking about, oh, one day I'd like to start my own company, or one day I'd love to live on the beach somewhere. Thinking about ideas, starting off talking about those things. Level 6 is a small group of people. And then you start paring down to some very close friends. And it's healthy and normal to move up and down these levels. You could be close friends with someone, then drop down a few levels. You could be best friends with someone. My best friend in high school is probably a low-level group person now. I haven't spoken to her in years, but if we reconnected, we might move up again very quickly. Very healthy and normal to move up and down. These levels are not solidified. Now, as you can reliably and without worry express your ideas, hopes, desires, and you spend a lot of time and trust building up to this level 8 best friend, it's safe to open your heart because you spent time, energy, built trust. They've proven themselves to you. You don't elevate them too soon. You don't elevate them at level 2 to level 8. They prove themselves time and time again. Then it's safe to open up your heart and talk about the rough time you're having at home, to talk about the dreams you have, to talk about things that don't reveal or shouldn't reveal to everybody. Level 9 is a complex stage. Family members, romantic partners. Not all family members or romantic partners belong at this level. Sometimes we can have toxic relationships with family. We don't get to choose our families. And if you are in a situation like that, talk about it with a therapist or a psychologist. But if you do have a good family, you trust them, they're at level 9. And a best friend who turns into a romantic partner becomes a level 9 that you choose. And then that final level, your own ultimate relationship, your relationship with yourself. Only you're up here. All other relationships need to be measured up to how you treat yourself. And if you treat yourself poorly, everything below is going to be low quality. So you must treat yourself in a very positive, high quality way. Always go with your gut, your head, and your heart. This level must always be maintained in order to strive for the best relationships you can have in life. Now, maintaining a relationship, trust, reciprocity, mutual fulfillment. You have to continually nurture trust to stay at those high levels. You need to work together as teammates and partners in life. You need to communicate on a regular basis. If there's no communication, you are not maintaining your relationship. Allow your partner to have his or her own space and time apart from you, and also have your life together and your life as separate identities. This is healthy. This is good. We don't want to smother each other. We want to build each other up. Rejections, breakups, an inevitable occurrence when dating. It is very rare to click with the very first person we date. It does happen, but most of the time we're going to feel that breakup or rejection. We will be rejected, and we will have to reject others when actively dating. If you're not ready for that, you're not ready for dating. Ghosting is very common in today's world. It can be very painful. If someone ghosts you, we have to let them go and move on. We can't control that. And so we have to be very careful at staying at the appropriate level with new people, so that ghosting, if a level 8 or a level 9 ghosted us, if a parent just disappeared on us, it would be devastating. It should not be devastating if your postal worker abandoned you. See the difference? We must be mature enough to be able to reject someone if the relationship is not right. You do not stay in a relationship just for the sake of it, just because you don't want to break up with someone. If it's not right, you have to do the right thing and break up, so that you free them up to find the right person, and that you free yourself up to find the right person. It is quite healthy to date many people before finding a partner. And it's okay to choose to remain single if that's what you desire. There is absolutely no reason that you have to date or have to partner up with someone unless you want to. There is no rule. Conclusions. Dating for adults with special needs. Everyone deserves a chance to seek out a romantic partner. Everyone deserves the chance to find contentment in their lives. Everyone deserves to have a good quality of life. Success is not what you do. Success is being happy. And if you're happy and healthy, you are doing just fine, with or without a relationship. A relationship is a bonus. A relationship is the icing on the cake. You are whole and complete all by yourself. And you need to work on that whole and complete person before you introduce that bonus, before you introduce that power up in a romantic partner. Now, use this time to discuss. Any questions, you guys can reach out to me. This is my book, Life Coaching for Adults on the Autism Spectrum. A lot of people don't like the puzzle pieces. I need to change the cover. I regret the cover, but the content in the book is awesome. You can find it on Amazon.com. You can find it on Audible. Every quarter, I do a free ebook promotion, so you can download it for free. Check it out. It's really cool. My name is Jacqueline Hunt. You can visit my website, www.asdlifecoaches.com, and you can always send me a message through that website. Anything you ever need. And if you want to have some coaching, just let me know. But it was an absolute pleasure being here today. I hope what I talked about was useful, helpful. I hope it engaged you guys in some awesome conversation. And any questions, just let me know. End this presentation and talk a little bit. Discuss what I talked about. Any positives, critiques, criticisms. I want to hear it all. Good luck, you guys. I know you can all eventually find a person that's right for you and have a little bit of fun dating and exploring while on that journey. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Bye, everybody.